Hello and welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us here at Cindy Bishop Worldwide. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about handling objections. This is the first of a three-part series that we're going to be bringing to you. And we are going to discuss today some objections relating to cost or company objections. We treat objections as requests for further information from Brian Tracy, and it's a natural part of the business that we do. And a little bit about me. My name again is Katalinas. I am a branch manager with Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, and I have been in mortgage sales and training for over 34 years in the Washington metro area. So let's get into it today. Part one, we're going to discuss cost and company objections. And here's an outline of some of the objections we're going to talk about. First, it's too expensive. Second, I can get cheaper service elsewhere. Those two are actually similar yet different types of objections. Just send me some information so I can see it in writing. I am happy with X company. I never heard of your company. And I read some poor reviews about you or your company. So let's take each of these one at a time and discuss a little bit about them. The first, it's too expensive. Cost versus benefit. Well, here it's important to ask exactly what do they mean by that? Maybe it's a customer who wants to go with a for sale by owner and objects to using any real estate services whatsoever on their transaction. We need to get specific with this customer and address why whatever cost you're charging brings better than expected results. Use statistics and prove your case. Cheaper service. This is your classic rate shopper. They have a bit of an understanding about what the cost of the service should be or might be, and they're basically just testing you to see what kind of advantages you deliver for your service. They are totally focused on cost and might not have a clear understanding of the value that you bring to the transaction, and we want to be sure that they're comparing apples to apples when shopping for that service. So at the very least, teach them how to shop accurately for the services that they desire. Ask a lot of questions, be sure you're addressing them specifically, and recognize it's not always about the money. Show your value in ways that others might not. The next one, just send me some information. Sometimes this could be an actual sincere request for some information, or it could be a brush off. You know, they're just trying to move on to the next thing and they're not really serious. So you have to gauge the way that remark is coming at you. Regardless, it's imperative that you ask more questions. Again, get specific, because if you are sending them information, you want to be sure that it is exactly what they're looking for. It's specific to their needs and their individual circumstances. And the more you engage them with those questions, the better you will be able to serve them with specific information that they might need. And then once it's sent, follow-up is key. Be sure you've addressed their concerns, check in for confirmation, and if not, continue the dialogue. Happy with what I have now. That's great, and it's great to tell a customer, you know what, that's wonderful that you're happy with what you have now. Can you tell me a little bit about why you're happy with the service that you're currently getting? What is it that they're doing differently? Be a little humble here. If you have no chance of getting the business from this customer, you might as well find out what appeals to them. What are they really looking for in someone to providing them service? Is it something you offer then naturally to them? You don't know how to address or overcome an objection that they're happy with what they have until you understand why it makes them happy. And maybe you offer additional service to what they're currently being offered. They don't know what they don't know. So do some investigative work here, ask a lot of questions. You still might come out of it with giving them food for thought and ultimately winning that customer over to you. Who are you? This is always either a real objection. They haven't done their research. They haven't heard of you. They haven't heard of your company. Maybe it's someone new to the geography in which you work. It's a new firm or company. Maybe you're new to the business. You need to be prepared to show your value, your experience, what you bring to the table. Statistics will always work here. Testimonials will work here. Anything you can provide them that legitimizes how sincere you are and professional you are and capable you are to handle their business is what they're looking for. Be sure you have your documents to back it up, and be honest in how you approach it. If you're new to the business, that's not a bad thing. You have the time to devote 100% of your energy to making their transaction your priority. So again, that's not a negative. Just have your information ready and be prepared to provide it. Poor reviews. Inevitably, we can't control every aspect of the transactions that we work with. Sometimes you can do the very best job that was available to you given the circumstances presented to you, but the impact or online review that was provided might have been less than satisfactory or less than fair based on what you might have done. Acknowledge it. You know, there's no use hiding behind it. You know, you could have said something like, there's a lot of circumstances surrounding that transaction. I've done my best to address any and all concerns. If someone was not 100% completely satisfied with the service that I offered, and I moved swiftly to remedy anything that could have been remedied based on the given circumstances. Understand I take any concern about my service very seriously, and we learn from that to see if there's any way we could have done better so that it doesn't happen again. Ownership is just one other way of saying, hey, I'm human. I can't control all of the surroundings, but here's what I've done to be sure that will never happen again, you know, on any transaction that you might be handling. So this, again, is just a brief overview of some of the objections for cost and company objections. I hope you'll join us for the full webinars as we present them later on. And for more information, you can go visit us at cindybishoptraining.com or cindybishopworldwide.com. And I look forward to seeing you at future events. Thank you for joining us today.